Hello, I want to do a very quick tutorial on bakasana. So bakasana is crow pose. It looks a little bit like this, but I'm going to take you through a few variations. So we have a couple of blocks, a couple of props, excuse me. So we've got a bolster. I have a container. These work as blocks as well. I do have a block. This I got in a bundle with the strap for $4, which was amazing. So hopefully you've done a little bit of a warm up. If you haven't, please do that before we start with this. And once you're ready, coming to malasana, so a yogi squat. If you're very uncomfortable here, if you're having issues with range of motion, either in your ankles or your hips, you can either come up onto your toes, or you can have a seat while you're watching, getting comfortable. Actually, let's all grab a seat for a minute. Closing down the eyes, taking a deep, long breath through the mouth, and exhale out the mouth. This time, inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth, in, all the way out. Let's do that 2 more times. In, and out. Okay, feeling better? Good. So, I taught this yesterday at a correctional facility and it was the men's. They had so much fun. I forgot how much fun this posture can be for people who have never done it before. I wanted to make a tutorial for you. My name's Ellen. I am a registered 200-hour yoga teacher. I've been practicing for about 5 years. And I love this practice called yoga. Not just the physical practice, asana, but the holistic design of the yoga tradition. Coming to malasana. And let's begin with the props. So if you're using the bolster, bring it in front of you. Your hands are going to be shoulder width distance apart, and the hands are, you'll notice if you turn the hands inwards, your elbows are going to go out. So we want to hug them in, which means you have a slight turn of the fingers outwards. You want to be making a nice L with the thumb and the index finger. So when you're ready, placing those to the floor, wherever you're comfortable. You can always fiddle around with the positioning. It will depend on your anatomical structure. So don't stress, you can have a play. We've got the bolster here and we're going to pop our head onto the bolster. Our knees are either going to come outside of our legs if we are a bit more tight in the hips. If you have a bit more flexibility, then you can bring them inside. Your choice. You can try both as well. So hands down, hips width distance apart, hooking the knees outside the arms to around the triceps. As you inhale, bring the weight forwards, and I want you to really utilize your fingers. The more you utilize your fingers, the more that the dumping of your weight will come out of the wrist and be distributed throughout your hands. And this is an amazing trick. Don't mind the noise. So annoying. Okay. Grip your hands. So coming forward, bringing weight forwards wherever your knees might be, head onto the bolster and begin by lifting one leg up and bringing it down, coming to the other side up, bringing it back down. So you will be playing with bringing weight all the way in towards your head, almost a little bit like a headstand. However, we will not be coming up into a headstand because it's extremely unstable on a block or on a bolster. So please don't do that. but let's do this 5 more times. Now, if you don't have a bolster, using the block. If you don't have a block, container. If you don't have a container, then you can use a pillow just as to soften your landing, but it's not necessary to have any blocks, any props. So this is probably a little bit too small. I probably should have got another one so you can stack them up. And you can use books, you can use anything that's triangular-ish. You're not dumping all of your weight into the props. You want to just use it as a little bit of a balance around the top of the head. And you'll notice the further you get your bum up, the more you're going to start squeezing your abdominals in and up. So you're arching your back like a cat, when we're in cat pose, when we're doing cat and cow. So hands down, shoulder width distance apart, locking the knees on wherever you can, head down, and start to shift all of your weight forwards. This might be enough. This is getting my heart pumping. So taking your time. Now that feels really difficult, and you will notice that with time you may get a few bruises on the backs of the triceps. Completely normal, don't freak out. Coming up again, so we're doing this 5 times. If, for my friends that do not have props or don't want to use them, whatever it might be, hands shoulder width distance apart, having a good look, seeing if you've got that L shape, making sure that you are squeezing the fingertips down, lifting the bum up into the air, coming onto the balls of the feet, hooking the knees to the triceps, and start practicing one leg or another, so the exact same as before, irregardless of props, exact same. Your knees might be out a little bit further, lifting 1, maybe lifting 2, and holding. You'll notice as well that it's really hard to get up if your elbow is way over here. So you want it over your wrist. And that is a rule of thumb for all arm balancing, any inversions, well, any of the arm balance inversions anyway. So you can't get balance without the rest of your body being stacked on top of you. Okay, a few more times, let's go. So lifting one leg and then lifting another. Coming up, breathing in, lifting up, and coming back down. Coming up, maybe changing legs, maybe having a go at lifting that other leg. If you're not finding lightness, know that it comes. So I could not do this for a good 6 weeks or so, and I was going to a strong vinyasa class at least every day. So it may take you some time. It will result in your face hitting the earth probably a few times. And that's completely normal. That's what I did. I got plenty of bruises. But my favorite part of this practice is having fun with it. It's really hard. I like to envision that I'm a kid again, and you watch kids, they'll fall over, they'll get back up and do the exact same thing again with just as much enthusiasm. So let's keep going. I'm going to show you one more tip. It will be using a strap. Again, not everyone has a strap. You can use a belt or a dog lead, but it can be a little bit tricky for what we'll be showing you because you do need these loops just so that you can stop it sliding around. Once you've had enough, coming into child's pose, if you're still going, coming up, lifting the bum up high, and I'm not even trying to lift my legs at the moment. I am just shifting my weight as far forward. Your gaze, I have not spoken about. You do not want it down here because you're going to fall down here. You want it out here, lifting the chest. That keeps you going forwards and not down into the earth. So, inhale, lifting forwards, looking up, gazing up, chest up. When you're ready, lifting one leg, maybe the other. If you're feeling strong, you might like to jump back into chaturanga, coming into up dog and all the way back to downward dog. Something to work on once you become more comfortable with bakasana. There is so many places to go. I do apologise about the noise at the moment. It's very annoying. Okay, let's grab a strap. Having a wonderful rest wherever you are. If you want to watch the screen, you can just lay on your back and watch. It's up to you really, obviously. Okay, so strap. If you do have the little, I don't know what you call these things, you're putting the strap through both of them, turning it back around and then splitting those rings and getting it, the first one it's going over, second one going under. And then slowly pulling that strap. And what we want to do is we want to make this your shoulder width distance apart. That's still a little bit wide for my shoulders. So coming through and adjusting, you can just watch this bit. It's hard work doing arm balances. So enjoy some rest while I sort this out. Now, that is looking definitely a lot better. So we often will, or you might see, people when they're doing bakasana, their elbows are going out like this. It looks pretty funny. You can do it like that, but you're not utilizing all of the strength and all of the muscles that you have in your body together effectively like that. So it just is more exhausting and you just won't get as far with it essentially. But obviously when you're beginning, you've got to do what you got to do. So there's no judgment there. You need to do what your body needs to do. However, either coming with me if you do have a strap, if you don't, not an issue. You can have a look and maybe consider buying some straps. If you go onto my Instagram, I do have an awesome free guide on props, which are pretty handy. So coming back to our yogi spot malasana, hands to the floor. You'll notice that it's super easy now to make sure your hands are in the right position because that strap is not letting you go anywhere. From here, you're just doing the same thing. You can use a prop if you want, otherwise lifting one leg, lifting another. This is a whole lot easier. So much easier. So this means you have that resistance in your elbows instead of trying to pull them in yourself when you're thinking about so many different things. You just have this little reminder, much like a booty bend would if you were doing a squat. It helps to just keep the legs in because they have a natural tendency to go outwards. So without further ado, if you do have, I'm exhausted. If you do have a strap, grab it. If you don't, that's okay. Coming back up, let's try again. If you fell flat on your face, I also do that. Try to have a laugh and know this is such a great way to fire up your brain, to get hormones, endorphins through your body, doing something different, unique, and having an opportunity to come into a practice that is challenging but also playful. You can get a lot of benefits out of it. Last time, so strap knees. Knees can be outer triceps or at the back. I'll do outer this time, so coming up, making sure that you've got that L shape. The hands are facing outwards. And you're lifting up like this. I actually find it really hard to do it from the outside like this. So if you are doing it from that way, you're pressing the legs inwards as you do that. It's actually quite challenging. Keep playing if you want. However, if you've had enough, then hit like and subscribe. If I get some good feedback from this video, I will continue making some short tutorials where we get to learn to use blocks, straps to our advantage and play in a really fun way. You can do this all day, every day. You'll learn it super quick. Use a pillow, use a bolster, use a block, use a container, use a book, use a dog lead, a belt. As I said, I did get these two together ridiculously cheap, so go on Instagram. I did do a little bit of a spiel about it because I'm pretty excited. As a yoga teacher, I do have to bring blocks and straps sometimes. They're just so helpful. So it's good if you're teaching beginners or newer practitioners. It just gives more comfort to a practice that can be very uncomfortable to begin with. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know, comment below. Otherwise, enjoy your day and have fun with this. I love it and I hope you do too.